Guys, what's going on? My name's Ryan. I trade ETFs, and I like to make videos of the technical analysis that I'm seeing in the charts. So we've got US oil here, and let's get started. So here on the long-term daily chart, I see a ascending triangle. A lot of people have chalked this up to a head and shoulders, which it very well might be. It might be a complex head and shoulders. A complex head and shoulders is when there are two shoulders on both sides. So I see a 1-2 head and a 1-2. So this very well could be a complex head and shoulders pattern, and we could drop down much lower. I guess I always like to try and look a little bit deeper into the chart, and I see a few other things going on that make me skeptical that this is a complex head and shoulders pattern, and we'll get to that in a second. So zooming into the 2-hour time frame, I have a Rsi and Stochastic Divergence going on here. So as far as the Stochastic Divergence goes, I see a high, higher high, and higher high, and as far as price goes, we have a high, and lower high. So this is a fairly long-term divergence that's playing out. I don't think it has set in quite yet. Another divergence that's interesting is we can see already that our stochastic right here on its current move is higher than the stochastic over here. So this would be a bullish divergence, as we have a higher high here, but we have a lower high over here. And as far as a RSI divergence goes, we can see that here our RSI basically bottoms out at 30, and we come over here and our low again is about 30 or 29, whereas price falls dramatically. And this is just, a bullish divergence here, because the technicals are saying that it shouldn't be this oversold here as it is over here, because price is much lower while RSI has remained the exact same. So we can see that we've come over here and consolidated pretty well here at C. I do believe that this is a descending wedge, and descending wedges are typically bearish until the end. And so I believe that, we come down here and set in our A, B, C, D, E. E would coincide with the larger term trend, which has been negative. We have not completed the bottoming out here and touching the bottom of this channel yet. And I do predict that we are going to do that. I just don't know whether or not this red line here is our legitimate resistance line for our wedge. And you'll see that here in shorter term charts. On the 1-hour chart, I still have that same wedge pattern going on here, but the only thing I wanted to note here is that this is a hard support zone. It's a hard support because we got rejected here at this level, and right now, just as far as the pattern plays out, and this was support for this price right here, and if you look at the weekly chart, this hard support runs into a lot of bottoming patterns on the weekly scale. So let's go to the weekly, and we can see that this zone comes into a lot of consolidation over here. As a quick weekly look goes, we can see that this is a second support and this is a third support. My weekly chart is definitely more messy than my shorter term charts goes. One very nice thing to note here is that our stochastic has been moving up, coiling up, and price has not responded to it until very recently. And I guess when this happens with the stochastic, where it coils up and it's rising higher, this is the bull buy setup, and it's coupled with the fact that our RSI is now breaking above 50. As soon as we get above 50 with conviction, like we did over here, I can see us having a short-term pop, and this would technically get us to our D right here. I drew my D right here just because this kind of seemed to be the trend that it was going in. But, tomorrow it very well might just pop here to D and then fall back down. And given the technicals, I think that our D might be a little bit closer here in time. And so that is my 1-hour chart here. Let's go to the 30-minute. As far as the 30-minute goes, you can see here that we have some divergences that I drew. You could have seen that on the hour chart, but we have higher lows setting in here while price makes lower lows consistently. And second, divergence to give us further support of this is that our stochastic bottoms out right here, and it makes a higher low over here, but price continues to move downwards. Like I said, divergences don't have to take place and play out right away. They are really just a underlying indication that the technicals and the price action are disagreeing with each other, and one has to win over in the fight. And usually, eventually, the technicals win over is what I've found. As far as stocks like Apple go, I've had a technical divergence go for multi-months, in Apple, and I think that we're finally starting to see that play out here, but that's for a different YouTube video, specifically my QQQ technology sector video. So this is what I was talking about a potential different wedge pattern going on here, and this red one was my original one just because it captured in this price action right here, but this would be a tighter range, and this would be our A, B, C, D, E, and our E would actually mark the end of this descending wedge, and we would be ready to run up higher. I am skeptical of this, narrower descending wedge simply because we have not come down and set our ultimate low, which is to touch our bottom trend line right here, our hard support line, and then we move up higher and hit our ultimate, resistance line. So as far as the price action has gone, it's been fairly smooth in running, straight up here and straight down, and we see that in previous, historical moves. So that's here on the 30-minute chart. Moving to the 15-minute chart, we are in a bit of channel here. I think I drew this before the after hours. The market is open right now. It's midnight, and it looks like we fell down a little bit below it, and we will see how this plays out. So this is on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute chart, and I just wanted to show you some interesting divergences that I saw here. So this is just a larger picture of the RSI. This is our bottom here, and we run all the way over here. While price makes, lower lows, this makes higher lows. And another shorter term, if you want even shorter term here on the 5-minute, is that our price is making higher lows while price makes lower lows. And, all that we might have gotten from this is this move right here. And now we're kind of consolidating here in this, I don't know what this might be, this cup and handle type pattern. But what's even more interesting here is what I believe to be a diamond bottom here in oil. Potential for this diamond bottom pattern to play out. Now, diamond bottom patterns are marked by 6 touches within the diamond pattern, and we kind of see that here with price moving down into it, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And you can see how tight price gets here, and we start to break out, and then we have a busted diamond bottom pattern, and then we have a double bust as it goes upwards. So this is a kind of complex diamond bottom pattern here in oil, just because we kind of had this fake out here and then we sprung up higher. And diamond bottom patterns are usually followed by a rapid and large move in the upward direction if it's a bottom, and a downward direction if it's a top. So I'm very interested to see what's going to play out here in US oil in the coming days and weeks. Like I said, I guess in the short term, I am bullish. I think that we're going to move up here to D. In the medium term, I'd like to see us come down here to E, so I'll be bearish. And then in the longer term, I think I am bullish, and I think that we're going to run all the way up here and, touch our resistance zone, and then, continue to go into this type of pattern in this channel until it breaks out one way or the other. However, this is my analysis for US oil here today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you the best luck in your trades. Bye-bye.